The cybersecurity landscape never sleeps. Every minute, thousands of new threats emerge. Millions of attacks are launched and billions of dollars are at stake. But in this constant stream of cyber incidents and updates, what should you actually care about? Well, that's why we're here. This is the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. I'm Dr. Gerald Auger, and these are the top cyber headlines. All right, good morning, everybody. Whoops, misfire. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Monday, President's Day, February 17th, 2025. This is episode 815 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. What's up, Phil Stafford? Carrie Tyler, Carrie, Marlon Johnson, Co-Brew up in the house. Marcus Kyler of the Eat Crew. Guys, good morning, everybody. We got a banger of a show for you. If you didn't know what's going on, the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief is going to be bringing the heat today. Over the next hour, me, you, Gary Sturgiadis, Rhonda Rummerfield, folks over on LinkedIn like Colin Buckley, Nerman is up in here, Bruce S, hashtag Team SC, and Ms. Julian in the Great White North. Listen, we are all going to shred the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. I got DJ VSEC behind the glass. Kimberly can fix it in mod chat. We got the whole team assembled like Avengers. It's going to be epic. And I'm going to be doing my best to absolutely distill the essence of cyber risk reduction from each of these stories so you can be a more dynamic, impactful practitioner out there in the field today, tomorrow, next week, this quarter, all of 2025. So you can level up and absolutely steer your own adventure, both for your organization now and for the next organization that you go to, because you're making that sweet, sweet cash. Great cash, homie. Listen. If you're thinking that this show is only for practitioners, well, buckle up, Buttercup. We got news for you. This show's for people that are looking to break into the industry. Also, that's how dynamic and multifaceted this program is. We are going to help you answer the question, how do you stay current in cybersecurity? Ding! This is a phenomenal answer. On top of that, the networking in here is amazing. Mara Levy, Cole07, Akil George. Guys, we got folks all over the place, all over the world. If you come back on Wednesday, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So people looking to break in, stay the course. Believe me, I'm telling you right now, it is a lot of work. It's hard, but it's very rewarding, and I love it, frankly. I've been doing it. I get up every morning and flip out about cybersecurity. That's how much I love it. So come on, get in here, get right, get your coffee. I actually, just as a quick programming note for everybody, I haven't even had a sip of coffee yet because we had a power outage over the weekend and I had to yard sale in here this morning. So I haven't even touched the coffee yet. Also, double-edged sword. Mrs. Auger got me this amazing Stanley mug to hold an entire pot of coffee. This thing's gigantic. The problem is it's so effective at what it does that I probably can't drink this coffee until the mid-roll or I'll blister my tongue. Freaking effective coffee mugs. All right, guys, before we get into it, though, let me say shout out and love to the stream sponsors. What's up, Toasty Pops? Good to see you. I'm feeling the energy, Team SC. You guys have got me all lit up. I love it. Let's hear from the sponsors real quick, and when I come back, I'm going to tell you how this show can save your CPE butt. Let's go. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Hero support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education regardless of financial position? check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing, as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other, all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret. As a person that exists publicly, especially since I share my opinions and hot takes daily, I'm hyper aware of my safety and security, and it's even easier to find personal information about people online these days. All the data is just hanging out there on the internet, and it can have real life consequences. But I recently found a solution, and this service is called Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service that removes your personal info from the largest people search databases on the web, and in the process helps prevent ID theft, doxing, phishing scams, stuff like that. And when you sign up, you tell Delete Me what data you want deleted, and they go off and do it. The cool thing is you get a personalized privacy report every month that shows what they deleted, where they found it, etc. It's pretty cool. For me personally, it's like outsourcing your online privacy, which honestly, I don't have time to do that myself or do it well. So for them to handle it is awesome. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at the special discount for Simply Cyber listeners. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. All right, I see so many that I was engaging in with chat up in here. Kyle, Mara, Levy, James McQuiggan at 35,000. Everybody like Cybersex, Code Brew. Guys, it's amazing what's going on. Let's go is right. Now, let me tell you something before we get into it. Every episode of the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one, 815, is worth half the CPE. So say what's up in chat. Grab a screenshot. Hashtag Team SC if you're feeling it. And when you go to file your CPEs once a year, what's this? Hold on, Chris. Oh, I see. Oh, geez. Okay, I wasn't ready for that. Listen, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet with gifted subs. Dang. Dennis Keefe, I'll see you tomorrow or Wednesday. Guys, every single episode, say what's up in chat, hashtag Team SC, right above my head. I know the chat's moving quickly, so grab a quick screenshot and file it away once a year. Count the screenshots, multiply by 0.5 or divide by 2. Your choice. You get to choose your own adventure here on Simply Cyber. But we got it going for you. 5252 BTC. Looks like the crypto is strong with this guy. All right, guys. If you're a Augusta Delgado or a solo operator, i.e. you're a one-person shop, drop a hashtag Team Solo or Solo Operator. Is that what we did? Solo Operator. And just say what's up. We want to recognize you. And finally, my friends, pay close attention. If this is your first time here, if you just found us or your first time jumping into chat, if this is you, your first time, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. We've got a special sound effect, which I'll tease right here. Welcome to the party. Okay, we got a special sound effect for you first timers, and we love welcoming you because we want you to feel welcome and come on back. Guys, I am so pumped. Good to see you, Triple D, Divine, Dream Divine, as always. Cameron Godot, good to see you. Justin Gold's in chat. Guys, sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. See you at the mid-roll.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Monday, February 17th, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. Hackers steal emails and...
Whoa. Now, Cameron Godot, I saw you I thought I saw you last week in chat, but he did say hashtag first timer. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Device code phishing attacks. A threat actor thought to be allied with Russia is using a technique called device code phishing to target organizations in government, NGOs, IT, defense, telecommunications, health, and energy sectors in Europe, North America, Africa, and the Middle East. Microsoft is tracking the group under the name Storm 237. Device code phishing involves getting access to devices that require a login code but which do not have a keyboard or browser, such as smart TVs and some IoT devices. Threat actors access these codes through social engineering.
Wait, what? Hold on. All right, hold on. We're gonna have to so I don't research or prep for any of these shows. I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning, but this one sometimes it's pretty obvious what the message is of the learning. George Strasburger, gifted subs, 5 new members. Very nice, thank you. We got Dead Falcor, Gregory A, Brian Hoke up in here. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so check it out. This one is interesting. So it is a threat actor believed to be associated with Russia. However, the Microsoft threat actor naming convention is Storm. So Microsoft uses like weather systems for their threat actor taxonomy. And Storm, just so everyone knows, is a kind of an unclassified category, i.e., it's a threat actor. They can attribute it to activity, but they don't know who is it associated with. So if it were to, definitively have attribution to Russia, they would change the name. Let me see. Threat actor names Russia. Is it Blizzard? Yeah, Russia are typically Blizzard. So nailed it. So if they do in fact get enough evidence to support that this is a Russian operator, see it says nation state operator, Russian interest. If they can determine that, they'll actually change this from Storm 237 to Flaming Blizzard or Ash Ketchum Blizzards. I don't know but they'll name it something Blizzard, so you can do that. Okay, second of all, let's actually get into what the threat actor is doing. Now they're targeting everybody, right? Governments, NGOs, IT services, tech, defense, telecom, health, energy, gas in Europe, North America, Africa, Middle East. I mean, like literally, it's like if you have a pulse, you are potentially getting targeted by these guys. All right. Now, the thing that I need to unpack here is that it's device code phishing attacks. And the devices they're phishing are ones that don't have keyboards, like TVs. Okay. So immediately I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, I get some IoT devices you can weaponize for botnet attacks or initial footholds into an organization, right? Like hop on their smart TV and then route around until you can get in. We've seen this actually famously. There's 2 famous instances. One is the Target breach, which like launched 1,000 ships back in like 2014, 2013, where they got through either the air conditioning HVAC people, I believe it was the HVAC people, or there was an attack like maybe 5-6 years ago where Caesars was was it Caesars? Caesars or oh god, there's like a really fancy hotel there in Vegas. But anyways, they got through the aquarium. Because like the people who like manage the aquarium there, it's like this big, huge, awesome water feature right in the lobby when you walk in. They remote in Bellagio. Thank you. Yes, exactly. DJ Bisek with his pinky out talking Bellagio up in here. Yes. So the Bellagio got attacked through the aquarium, the fish tank. Lazaro passes AWS CLF 02. Let's go. Love it. So my thinking is, why would you need a phishing attack? Usually when you attack these devices like IoT devices, smart TVs and stuff, you basically find them on a network and their security is trash. So here you go. There's a more you know. If you didn't already know, welcome to the party, pal. Usually IoT devices have trash security, so that's why they're usually popped. This one, I don't understand how the phishing works on it, right? Like, why do you when's you really gonna get a human to walk over, turn on the TV, and read you a code over the phone or something? Let's see if we can get into this. Yeah. Okay. So abuses the authentication flow by tricking users and entering attacker-generated device codes on legitimate sign-on pages. They establish connection with the target by falsely posing as a prominent person relevant to the target. Okay. On messaging platforms like WhatsApp, Signal. Okay. So really quickly, please, educate yourself, educate your end users. Like Elon Musk is not messaging you on WhatsApp to tell you about like a hot Bitcoin opportunity. Okay. Falsely put like, what's his face? Lionel Messi's not hitting you up on Microsoft Teams to tell you about 2 free tickets to a Miami Blast game or whatever the football team, soccer team is there. What are we doing now? Okay, so they're not celebrities. They're saying, "Hi, my name is whatever Fubar. I'm a researcher at the International Institute for Strategic Studies, and we want your thoughts on this conference." Okay, so this seems a little bit more plausible because I've received messages like this from time to time. But guys, tell your end users this, okay? Use these screenshots because like everybody knows what. Now listen, I know Android people don't know what a blue bubble is, but like you can color code that to be green also to address your Android users. But use these screenshots and say, listen, people are pretending to like invite you to opportunities. If they're coming through Signal, WhatsApp, text message, whatever, it's highly likely not legitimate. Personally, I always try to get them to go over to send me an official email. Like send me an email from your official email account and we can begin the conversation. That usually stops them in their tracks. Although I will say I've seen opportunities where they'll say, no problem, I'll send you an email. And then they'll send you an email from like a typo domain. You know what I mean? Like it'll look like Duolingo sent me one. They're like, oh, we want to work with you. And I was like, all right. And then I was like, send me an official email. And the email was like joan@partner-duolingo.com. Right. So you do have to do the work. Okay. Ooh, here we go. Threat actor asks service for device code. Yeah, there we go. So the final thing I'll say about this is please, please, please educate your end users about this attack technique. But dude, you know what kills me about this? I'm posing as a researcher from an international institute for strategic studies, and I want your take. I'm inviting you to something, and then somehow we manage to get over to, can you put this code into your TV? What is...
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
All right, and I am sorry I played that. We don't throw hate at Carl, okay?
Carl!
We don't throw hate at Carl. It's just sometimes it's just a step too far for me to wrap my head around that people fall for some of this stuff. But that's why we do the news. That's why we stay current every day, because you do have to secure against the lowest common denominator. Let's go.
Toad feature seeks to prevent in-call sideloading attacks. A new security feature for Android phones seeks to help device owners not change sensitive settings on their phones while unknowingly communicating with a scammer. This happens when a user is convinced to turn on settings within their phone to install apps and allow accessibility access for unknown parties. This feature is currently live in Android 16 Beta 2, released earlier this week, and this is to counter a scamming process called Telephone-Oriented Attack Delivery, TOAD, in which cybercriminals distribute dropper apps using SMS messages and phone calls to trick victims into installing malware such as Vulture.
All right. So a couple things. One, all you green bubbles out there, listen, this is a feature that is in the Android OS that I would recommend you enable. And it basically prevents sideloading apps. Sideloading is basically putting an app on your phone and running it, right? So, but not through like the official stores or whatever. I guess this is a big enough attack technique that they introduce this security feature. Essentially, a attacker gets you on the phone. You're talking to them. You don't know that you're talking to an attacker, and then they tell you, they can pretend to be IT service, help desk, or whatever. And then they send you a message with a link, and you basically run it on your phone right then, and they're the whole time telling you what to do, clicking you through everything, and then you infect yourself. So this feature stops you from being able to sideload during a phone call. This does not prevent you from sideloading in general, right? Android people love the ability to I own the phone, I can sideload whatever I want, right? So it's just during phone calls. So it seems like a very specific security feature. I find it interesting that honestly, I find it interesting that they've scoped it to just during phone calls? Like, why not have a feature to disable sideloading apps that you can like turn off when you want to sideload an app and then turn back on? And then for like the 98% of people, like my Aunt Dorothea, who doesn't even know what sideloading is, they're just implicitly protected from ever sideloading or being tricked into sideloading. Because if it, like with this, yeah, you get on the phone, it'll prevent it. But like they send you an email, they send you a text message. Like we just covered the story about the text message attack technique. It's 2025, dude. People have been doing this for years. So like, whatever. I feel like such a cynical prick that like they introduced this feature to protect people and it's just not good enough. It's like, it's kind of a half measure, Google. The other thing I will tell you is, and I haven't said this one for a while, so if you don't know, I'm super pumped to share this with you. What's up, Dragos? Up in Romania, guys. Listen, if you're running some kind of like, drugstore cash register line Android device, like whatever, like if you bought an Android phone and it's like a $10 phone, it's highly unlikely you're going to be able to get this feature because just so everyone knows, like Google Pixel is obviously Google, so you can always stay up to date on the Android OS version. But as you get further away from Google and like different manufacturers begin to bake in their own apps and their own kind of like variant of the Android operating system because it is so flexible, every time they release something like this, you have to bake it into your new build to make sure it doesn't break anything old, right? So Samsung, LG, whatever, like those companies have deep pockets so they can ensure that they stay on the current operating system level that Google's releasing. But like TCL, or do I even have a phone in here? Oh, I used to have one just laying around, but like, these junky, like these like nonsense knockoff phones, they will not ever get this because it'll break things and they don't want to do that. And they don't have a team to fix it. So if you've ever wondered why you have an Android device and you can't upgrade it to the newest operating system version, like it's just not available as an option, this is why, what I'm telling you right now. All right. So good job, Android. Enable this feature. If you'd almost want to, you'd have to do the research on how to enable it, but this could be a good one where you make a little video and say, hey, Android users, if you'd like to, introduce additional security to your phone, do this, and basically just don't even explain it's a phone call or anything like that. Just walk them through turning it on. All right.
Hackers breach more U.S. telecoms via unpatched Cisco routers. According to Recorded Future's Insect Group, hackers from China's Salt Typhoon Group continue to target telecoms worldwide and have breached more U.S. telecommunications providers via unpatched Cisco iOS XE network devices. In this campaign, they are exploiting a privilege escalation vulnerability and a web UI command injection vulnerability. This has already resulted in network breaches at multiple telecommunications providers in the US, South Africa, Italy, and Thailand. The vulnerabilities have CVE numbers viewable in the show notes to this episode. And this is not the same exploit as was reported a month ago, which involved end-of-life Cisco routers and a different Chinese threat group, Volt Typhoon.
All right. So I guess Volt Typhoon, hold on. Yeah, no, I don't even know why they mentioned Volt Typhoon. Volt Typhoon was attacking industrial control systems, right? OT energy plants, and Salt Typhoon was the one attacking telecoms. So I don't know why he mentioned the Volt Typhoon bit there, but this is still actively targeting. Yep. So why wouldn't they? Guys, this has been happening since like November, December. Like I remember like CISA, announcing this. Friggin' like Jen Easterly and Chris Wray were in front of Congress like last summer. So, all right. So obviously you want to protect yourself from this, whether you're a telecom provider or not. Although they are targeting the telecom providers, but if this attack works, it'll work on everyone. So, looks like they're also interesting. they're not just targeting US-based ISPs and telecoms. They're also targeting South Africa, Italy, Thailand, etc., which is interesting, by the way. Can I just point out really quickly? South Africa, I mean, if you're playing the 1950s, like, good guys, bad guys kind of format, South Africa is, in this BRICS alliance, the Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. So there's this BRICS alliance that South Africa's in. So if China's popping South African telecom providers, that might be like kind of a Plaxico burst to the thigh, accidental infection. But they've spotted Cisco devices that are reconfigured. Come on. Is this BSEC, is this score for the Cisco device we're looking at right now? Okay, so DJ BSEC's actually run the numbers here using his sick EPSS lookup tool, ! EPSS in chat to get some of that. This Cisco, I don't know what Cisco iOS XE devices. So the iOS is just the Cisco operating system underneath. The XE devices, I'm not familiar with that line of device, but I'm sure it's some type of enterprise grade networking device. Oh my God. So, oh my God, are these numbers right, dude? Hold on, DJ B-Sec, are these numbers right? Holy shit. Sorry, Kennedy. So check. Wow. Okay, so according to EPSS, which is a scoring system that we use in the industry to determine like how likely you are to get hit with this thing, he's run the numbers. You have an 86% chance of getting, if you have this open in your network, like if you have this Cisco XE device that is in a vulnerable configuration on your network, there's an 86% chance that you will get compromised in the next 30 days. This is like basically a certainty. So in the 100 and almost 200,000 vulnerabilities in the EPSS database, this is in the 99th percentile. Like this is one of the really bad ones. So we will, honestly, this is a kind of a stop the tape and go fix this kind of situation. That's the highest EPSS score I've ever seen. So let's see if there is an easy fix here. It looks like they scanned the internet and they found 12,000 devices that are actively exploited. So of those 12,000, if you do the math here, 10,000 of them will be compromised if they don't get fixed in the next 30 days. So is there any insights in here on how to remediate this? Network admins, take your internet-facing devices, of course you want to start there, and apply available security patches as soon as possible. You gotta patch it. Also avoid exposing admin interfaces or non-essential services directly to the internet. Okay, so this right here, what they're saying, here's the guidance. Patch it, right? And if you can't patch it right now for whatever reason, like it's a downtime, you got to wait for a maintenance window. This is basically hardening the target or reducing attack surface. Exposing admin interfaces, not doing that. So then the threat actor can't, I guess they might be able to infect, but then they would have to figure a way to escalate privileges. And then non-essential services. This is just classic attack surface management or minimization. Oh, this is kind of like I showered right before the show and I might have to go take another one. This one's filthy. You're dirty. Yeah, actually, you know what? Casually Joseph brings up a really good point. And that's why we're a community, everybody. It takes a village. And Gen Z's entered the chat offering up a different perspective from the graybeards. And I love it. Casually Joseph says, with odds that high of infection, so 86% chance in the next 30 days, if Casually Joseph was in charge, he would actually assume breach and begin investigating. So excellent point. Definitely get this sorted out But then go threat hunting in your environment. Look up what the IOCs are, and do that. So thank you, Sigma.
Thanks to today's episode sponsor, Scrut Automation. Scrut Automation allows compliance and risk teams of any size to establish enterprise-grade security programs. Their best-in-class features like process automation, AI, and over...
John Brock wants to know the CVE. Good question, John Brock. Let me get that to you. The CVE for that one is... Hold on. Let me yeah, this is an old one, John Brock. It's CVE 2023-20198. I'm going to pull it up on stream here. 2023-20198. 20. I'll drop it in chat too, so everybody can see it right there. It's 2023-20198. So it's a 2-year-old vulnerability which was lost on me. But there you go, bud. All right, everybody, get your patches. You gotta patch it. Also, since we took a break for the CVE number, I saw somebody say hi, Deb Wigley in chat. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, while the ad is running here for CISA series, please help me welcome one Deb Wigley to the chat. She's wonderful people. I'm going to do the Oprah emote for Deb Wigley. There we go.
75 native integrations reverse compliance debt and help manage risk proactively as your business grows. Visit scrut.io to schedule a demo or learn more. That is SCRUT.io.
All right, guess what, everybody? It is the mid-roll. Oh, it's so good. Oh, so good. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the mid-roll. Hope you're enjoying the hell out of this episode. I certainly am. I've had a couple sips of the coffee. It's delicious. And the temperature is reasonably hot. Guys, I want to thank all of you for being here. Thanks, Funky Monk. Thanks, Deb Wigley. Thanks, Evan. Stones fan out in Phoenix. People on the left coast getting up early, like Base Case, wading through logs. Poner Joe not having to get up early anymore. Triple D's up in the house. Guys, James O'Quigan, who knows where he is? He's in seat 3B at 35,000 feet. I just want you to know, I genuinely appreciate getting up and being here with you every day, even on holidays. We do take Thanksgiving and Christmas off, but President's Day, ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So we're here putting the work in, and genuinely really, really enjoy starting my day with you. Thank you, all of you, for all you do. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Now, let's just really quickly say shout out to the stream sponsors. I did mention Antisyphon, Delete Me, and ThreatLocker in the intro, but don't sleep on Barricade Cyber Solutions. Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But guess what, everybody? Eric Taylor, the crew at Barricade Cyber, they know how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. There's Eric Taylor right there. He'll be the Jackin host tomorrow as well. If you have an active incident going on, reach out to them. They got their phone number right here. You can book a meeting with them. There's no shortage of ways to get up with Eric Taylor and basically get the help you need. Don't make a cyber incident the worst day of your life. There are people that can help you. Barricadecyber.com. Check them out. Links in the description below. Every single day of the week, y'all. James is on ground level. What? No. All right. Hey, check it out now, guys. Every single day of the week has a special segment, and Mondays I love. Mondays is the Simply Cyber Community of the Week, and it's sponsored by ThreatLocker, which means the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. It's my pleasure to be able to give them a $100 Amazon gift card. Love it, love it, love it. James O'Quigan with the super chat says, shout out to Phoenix and everyone I met at CactusCon last weekend. What a great event. Sitting here at ground level, looking forward to seeing Team SC at Zero Trust World and then off to B-Sides Galway this weekend. Damn, James O'Quigan, you are international man. And obviously, shout out to Cactus Con. Hope everybody enjoyed that. All right, guys. Hey, it takes a village to run Simply Cyber, just like taking a deny by default approach to application security is a great idea. Like Threat Locker, thanks Threat Locker. We'll be at Zero Trust World all this week. I do want to say shout out to the community member of the week. You guys know him as PBO. Listen, I just want to give some love to PBO. He's in chat. Professor Black Ops. This guy, you want to talk about a person who mentors and cares. Professor Black Ops, he's been crushing it for a long time. And just, if you ever go on Discord and just look, you'll see Professor Black Ops up in the GRC channel and the general channel. He's helping people. He's got a great attitude. I've had some calls with him. He's just a really great guy. And you know what? He is absolutely GRC Mafia through and through. So, Professor Black Ops, if you would, reach out. I'll DM you and get your email address so I can send you this Amazon gift card. But ladies and gentlemen, your Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week, Alpha Sierra, is going to lead us off with our la 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 la's. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. And I promise you, there's no airport, there's no Kohl's, there's no hotel lobby or elevator that you walk into that is plain Simple Minds, don't you forget about me, that you will not forget about Simply Cyber, Daily Cyber Threat Brief. It happens to me every time I hear it. It's hilarious. All right, guys, let's finish strong.
PPL Electric Utilities in Pennsylvania blames Move It breach at vendor for exposed customer data. The Allentown-based utility company says, quote, basic customer data stolen from one of its vendors in 2023 was recently exposed online, but the incident did not affect its core systems, end quote. This was due to the Move It breach, and the data which was stolen was basic PII with no banking, credit card, social security, or account password information, and it was published online in December of 2024. The company, which serves customers in Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and Rhode Island, also emphasizes that the breach was completely unrelated to PPL's systems and critical infrastructure.
Really quick, Fleet is posting the third with 10 gifted subs. Nice. So people like Pavan Kumar, Prairie Waltz, Cyber Threat with Jay. Oh, wait, no, Dusty, excuse me. All squad members. So be sure to jump into the squad emote tray. And check out those new emotes you got right there, like the Oprah emote. Very nice. All right, so the Move It breach, guys, I thought, did someone like trip over and knock over my bin of, cables and technology? Because I had a Move It breach in there. The Move It breach was like the biggest story of 2023. Clop ransomware, who... You probably haven't heard of Clop ransomware recently. I swear to God, they're still digging out from this haul that they got. And I'm telling you guys, like, if you ever watch like makeup YouTube channels and they have the hauls, like, oh, we're doing a drugstore haul. Look what we scored. Dude, Clop ransomware did a Move It breach haul. And I mean, they were getting Department of Energy. They got so much stuff that they were like actually throwing back stuff. That had like kind of quote unquote radioactive elements to it, like Department of Energy. The U.S. government was like, you have Department of Energy? Wait a minute, what? And they're like, no, delete. So this Pennsylvania utility company, I guess it's getting picked up in the like the snow globe has been shaken. The data was exposed in 2023, but it just got released apparently. And the data was published in December 2024. So I don't know if someone found some data and was just like, oh, like I'll just throw this out there. Looks like it's just basic information. I mean, this is the victims. It sucks because the victims are the people who were probably consumers of the Pennsylvania utility company. But it was basic information: name, address, phone number, email, and account number. Honestly, you could kind of get this information off of like a free people search database. Now, there is a potential here that a threat actor, if they were really, really motivated, could pose as the utility company and then use the account number as like a way to validate that they are in fact from the utility company. But I mean, in all honesty, like right now, if I said, oh, like if I called you Kimberly Can Fix It, and I was like, hey, this is Jerry from Miami Utility Company. I got some questions for you, but just to prove that I am who I say I am, your account number is 751324D. Like, are you going to be able to confirm that? I don't know my account number for my utility company. I just like the power's on. Everything's fine. So let's see. Holy crap. This utility company reported $8 billion in revenue. Wow. Okay.
Straight cash, homie.
So whatever. I mean, I guess I always try to pull some value out of this for you. So just know that if you are involved in a data breach, but the data doesn't get released, I mean, you can move forward, obviously, but you have to keep in mind. Yeah, Haircut Fish is getting calls from electric providers, Pennsylvania zone. So just here's the deal. If you're an organization and you're worried about potentially having data stolen, I mean, you can do the risk assessment and then you'll do what every company always does and say, the data has not been released as of right now, or our current investigation suggests the data hasn't been abused by threat actors. You hear them say it all the time. Just know that it's zeros and ones on a disk somewhere. It's super easy to copy. It's super easy to trade, and it can get released at any point. I mean, there is a little bit of a diminishing value over time, right? Because this is 2 years old. So maybe someone's like changed their name, switched addresses, canceled their utility. So older data is not as valuable like this kind of data, but it is what it is. This is kind of a thin story.
CISA adds vulnerabilities from Apple iOS and iPad OS, Mitel SIP phone, and Simple Help to its KEV catalog. These additions to CISA's known exploited vulnerabilities catalog this past week focus on the Apple iOS and iPad OS incorrect authorization USB vulnerability that we reported on last week. It also focuses on a Mitel SIP conference phones argument injection vulnerability and a vulnerability affecting the remote support application Simple Help that we also reported on February 7th. These vulnerabilities must be addressed by federal agencies by the end of the first week of March. The CVE numbers for each are available in the show notes to this episode.
Okay. Hey, I really quick want to share a note from Emmett. Again, this is why I love the community. I'm up here doing the show, but the community is so valuable. Emmett also points out, if you do work in utilities, right, and you're concerned about this, now, you can join the EISAC, which I guess is Electric ISAC. The ISAC, Information Sharing Analysis Center, are awesome. Basically private, but it's very easy to get into an ISAC. You just have to prove you're not a criminal, right? Here. These are super valuable, okay? So you can see there's an American Chemistry Council, an automotive ISAC, aviation, comms, elections, electricity. So here's the EISAC he was talking about. There's a healthcare one, water. Okay. These are definitely valuable to join, and you can find out more. Now, just for what it's worth, in this particular story, Clop ransomware hit everybody and anybody. So this wasn't really specific to electron, right? The electrical industry, but the ISAC may have had that information. So that's a great point. Really quickly on the this CISA known exploited vulnerability catalog, the CISA KEV Catalog is still being maintained, which I love, and it's basically vulnerabilities that CISA has confirmed are being exploited. Now we're going to drop a new tool here on your head. Look at this. So we see CVE 2025 24200, the Apple iOS. Okay. Now with CVEs, and this was dropped on our head by Brandon Poole recently. If it has a CVSS score of like 9.8, that doesn't necessarily mean you got to shut it down. It just means it's bad, right? Well, our own DJ BSEC in chat, the man, the myth, the legend himself, has developed this tool, which I will be LinkedIn social media posting about later today, where you too can just scoop up this, copy it, paste it, and then I guess put today's date. And let's get the results. Fetching, 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 fetching. Okay, I was looking for a bigger payoff there, DJ BSEC. Computer. Oh, okay. So it may not be in there yet. Okay, so this is a good one. So this is a perfect one. Even though this is in the known exploited vulnerability catalog and it's an Apple iOS, which is like everyone's, there's a 1% chance that this will get exploited in the next 30 days for you. Now, you've got to remember, that means if you have 100 users in your environment with iPhones, there's a good chance one of them will get hit, technically speaking. It is in the 84th percentile. This red number right here means if it does get popped, how bad is it? And 84% is bad, okay? DJ BSEC's actually color-coded this for everybody as well, which makes it really, really nice. But what I would say is... Oh, thanks, Evans. What I would say is just keep your iPhone up to date. Tell your end users, tell your executives, since they're the ones running around with Apple devices, tell them to just keep it up to date. I got an update on my iPad and iPhone this weekend, so I don't know if it's the same one. But just know there is an exploit out there. And you can disable the restricted mode on a locked device. Of course, actually, dude, so this is a physical attack. So I don't know. Just it's the best practice to just keep your Apple products up to date on patches. But dude, this is like a physical attack. Apple has a mechanism that prevents like law enforcement, Cellbrite, etc., from plugging your device in and opening it up essentially. And there's a way to disable that restriction, effectively making it non-existent. And then they just do the thing they want to do. But guys, you'll know that this is happening because you will look down and your phone will not be in your pocket. Your phone will not be in your clutch or your purse or your car, charger or whatever. Like you need physical access to this sucker. Okay, also, let's run this other one to see how his tool works. This is a Mitel SIP phone. Never heard of Mitel. I'm going to go ahead and drop in the new one and hit get results. And this one also says less than 0.2% of a chance of it getting popped. Middle of the pack if it does, but again, this is like a pretty low chance. I like my chances about it. Okay. Let's keep going. Also, if you want his this app, get your own EPSS scores here. Seriously, I'm going to bookmark this tool. Bookmark. Thank you, DJ BSEC. One for the community.
Lazarus Group deploys Mars Tech 1 JavaScript implant in targeted developer attacks. The North Korea-linked threat actor is now believed to be connected to a previously undocumented JavaScript implant named Mars Tech 1, that is MARSTECH1, the number 1, used in targeted attacks against developers. The active operation involved malware delivered via an open-source repository hosted on GitHub with a profile named Success Friend. This profile, which was active since July 2024, is no longer accessible on GitHub. The implant itself was, quote, designed to collect system information and could be embedded within websites and NPM packages, posing a supply chain risk, end quote. The malware seems to have emerged in late December 2024 and has to date amassed 233 confirmed victims across the US, Europe, and Asia. The IRS to buy...
All right. So Lazarus Group is pretty dope. Usually Lazarus Group is known for like crypto crime, like basically North Korea's GDP. It mostly comes from Lazarus Group stealing money from other places, countries, crypto exchanges, whatever. So, but they do get weaponized in other capacities as well. Now they have this MarsTech JavaScript implant. Just remember, like JavaScript is client-side executed code, right? It can be server-side, but a lot of times your browser will render or interpret the JavaScript on your side in order to make your web browsing experience more interesting and more exciting, okay? But that JavaScript can be really feature-rich and do all sorts of really interesting things, including spying on you or doing crypto mining. In this instance, they had an implant, which I guess just collected system information. All right. So it can be embedded in websites or NPM packages. All right. So NPM packages, this is like code that people download and put into their own stuff. Embedded into websites, remember, that means that they would have to have access to the website's backend in order to embed the code. You don't just get to like add code to people's websites. You have to have the permissions and the access to do it. Why are they doing it? So 230 confirmed victims. Okay. It says they were doing pre-obfuscated and obfuscated payloads to various GitHub repos. This is so dumb. Okay, pre-obfuscated. Pre-obfuscated. This is what we're going to go with here. Author, pre-obfuscated. This just means clear text. This means written normal. This obfuscated means that they like jumble up and add a bunch of crap to the code. So it's very, very difficult for a human to read it and understand what's going on. Fake function calls, function calls that are just single letter, variables that are single letter, chasing your tail, all sorts of stuff. That's obfuscated payloads. Pre-obfuscated, as far as I know, hold on, let me Google, let me fact check myself instead of just throwing mad shade at this. What is pre-obfuscated? Because to me, that is like what is normal. Like that's just normal code. Okay, like even the Google engine doesn't know what the hell that is. Okay, sorry. Like, but Code Brew, right? Just anyone like DJ Bsec just wrote a tool. Like for anyone who's like written code ever. Congratulations. I guess hey, everybody, go update your LinkedIn skills. If you've ever written a piece of code, you've got pre-obfuscation in your on your bingo card now. Come on, bro. What are we doing here? All right, so we've got a C2 server at this IP address. This is absolutely burned down at this point. There's no way that an IP address is in the news and still operating as a C2 server. That would be insane. But I guess you can see here, port 3000. You can change listening ports, right? That's not that hard. But, from a threat hunting perspective, if you wanted to go back and look at your logs, depending on how far back your logs go, you could look for this IP address and see if it's there. You could look for services going out to connect on port 3000. These are some of the things you could do. And, or pulling down things from port 3001. You could see they were targeting wallets, I guess. See, here's my thing. What are we talking about here? It was doing information stealing, but then also wallets, which this is very on brand for Lazarus. Lazarus steals cryptocurrency. That's their jam. And I wish I had my Charles Finfrock sounder. Ding! I'm a crypto evangelist. I love it. I love it. I love it. I am not a crypto evangelist. I actually think I have thoughts about crypto, but Charles Finfrock and Justin Gold, they lead the Simply Cyber crypto free crypto, pro crypto contingent. All right. Yeah. So all I would say is, from a threat hunting perspective, it's worth going and looking for that IP. Obviously, if you run code or you download it from NPM, you could have this JavaScript implant embedded. It would be nice at this point if you could find some of the code for this JavaScript implant. Like if it's that well known at this point, the Mars Tech implant, like see if you can find the code and then look in your own code repos to see if that code is there. It might be difficult to find the code because they don't want to make it super easy for another threat actor to just rip off that existing attack. But yeah, I mean, this is a common attack, guys, in 2025, pretty common. Implanting like malicious code into GitHub repos, NPM, PyPy, and having people download them.
NVIDIA Supercomputers for improved IRSing. According to nonprofit news outlet The Intercept, quoted in Slashdot, the IRS is ready to purchase an NVIDIA SuperPod AI supercomputer to enhance its machine learning capabilities for tasks such as fraud detection and taxpayer behavior analysis.
Oh, Lord. Oh, man.
This is part of the Elon Musk-led DOGE program addressing, quote, a broader push to replace federal bureaucracy with machine learning software, end quote. According to a previously unreported February 5th acquisition document, quote, the setup will combine 31 separate NVIDIA servers, each containing 8 of the company's flagship Blackwell processors designed to train and operate artificial intelligence models that power tools like ChatGPT. The hardware has not yet been purchased and installed, nor is a price listed, but SuperPod systems reportedly start at $7 million. The setup described in the contract materials notes that it will include a substantial memory upgrade from NVIDIA.
All right. Not a political show, okay? So let's keep it clean in there. So the IRS is I guess not considering, like we're all, send it, right? Full send here of a SuperPod AI computer from NVIDIA. Doesn't matter what it's called. They're talking about introducing AI into the IRS workflows. It sounds like to replace humans. Like that's kind of sounded like what the goal was. It was to deal with efficiency, which would mean lower expenses, i.e. labor costs. Or at least that's what it seemed like. Here's my thing with this, guys. When you are when you are working, okay, and you're in GRC Mafia, and you are, basically approached about, hey, we want to use AI. Like, okay, let's think about it. But like this, introducing AI to like basically run the IRS kind of, that sounds like I'm not opposed to it, right? I'm not the office of no up here, but it does, like, I don't know if AI is cool, but like it does hallucinate sometimes, right? It does make mistakes. It does. I just don't know if it's like fully baked yet to do this. And then, I mean, how is the testing done? Is there going to be like, I guess I don't know. Like, I'm not opposed to it, but I definitely would want some type of plan on rollout and implementation. Again, this is outside the scope of cybersecurity now. Right now, I'm thinking like a business person, right? Because cybersecurity, it's more like, I mean, there is the AI risk taxonomy if you're interested in going to learn about that from MIT. I made a video about it. Go check that out. This is definitely really cool and worth looking at. Really, really good insights. I just dropped a link in chat, but I don't know. Guys. I don't know. This seems wild. So we'll see. I will tell you this. Not that this would have stopped this from happening at the IRS, but dude, I'll tell you this. If you haven't done it already, you absolutely need to have a policy on AI for your organization. I don't care what it is, but you got to have something. Make sure it passes the sniff test with leadership, but you got to have something, because if you don't have something, then everything's okay. And there's just so much going on with AI that, it's a lot. So let's keep going. Oh, we're at 9:00. Someone call Nick Barker. Let him know what's going on. Guys, I want to tell you before we go over to jaw jacking, we're launching a new series over on, or here on the channel at Simply Cyber, every single month. Kind of like, if you're familiar with Antisyphon's Anticast, we're basically inspired by them. I don't want to say stealing their idea, but we're inspired by Zach, Kathy, Daniel, and the team over there. So once a month, we are going to run a 1-hour Lunch and Learn series webinar. You will leave with a practical skill, okay? Tomorrow is our first one, so help us launch the ship, if you will. And obviously, constructive feedback is appreciated because we want to make this as valuable as possible. But the idea is, take your lunch from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern time if you can, or have your coffee break or whatever. And tomorrow, Steve McMichael is going to be teaching about risk management and the NIST cybersecurity framework. So if you'd like to learn more about that, come on, hang out. It'll be a classic Simply Cyber type of activity where, chat will be popping off, the community will be strong, and you'll be learning. So I hope you're excited. We're launching that tomorrow, and also Wednesday, we have a brand new show launching on the channel, Simply ICS Cyber. Stay tuned. There's more to follow about that. So we've got a lot going on this week, and I'll be at Zero Trust World Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll be broadcasting the Daily Cyber Threat Brief live from the conference floor at Zero Trust World. You can see it's a big mess in my background over here because I got so much gear because I'm prepping for the big thing. We got, just if you come by Zero Trust World 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., you'll see what we're doing. Multiple cameras, multiple microphones, big mixing board. It's going to be epic. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Thank you all so very much. And stay tuned. Don't go anywhere because we got jaw jacking coming up in a hot second. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jaw Jacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some jaw jacking. Hey, what's up, everybody? Holla! This is Jaw Jacking. I am your host, Jerry Guy, kicking it like a boss up in here, coming hot off the heels of that nerd, Dr. Gerald Auger. What a zero. His daily cyber threat brief. Okay, buddy, why don't you pump the brakes, okay? Simmer down now. We got some fun going on now. We're going to do some jaw jacking for the next 30 minutes, answering any and all questions that you might have around cyber career, industry, the weekend. So drop your questions in chat with a Q, and I will answer them. We got DJ Bisek behind the glass flagging questions, which I love. Thank you. Also, yeah, Mara Levy, I got your nerd sticker right there. Mara Levy's in chat saying nerd. We got the nerd sticker right there. So let's see what chat's got going here. Not only IT likes the glasses, thank you. All right, haha. All right, let's keep going. What do we got? How was everyone's weekend? Doing a lot of construction here. It's a 3-day weekend for the kids, so shout out to all the parents out there who had to deal with that. All right, let's keep going. What do you think about the weekend breaking up with Bella Hadid? I have no opinion, Burt Mustard. I didn't even know the weekend was dating Bella Habib. Let's take a look. I do like that one song from the weekend. That sounds like an 80s song. All right, here we go. Bella Hadid. All right, hold on. Someone's at the front door. What is this? Hold on 1 second. Wasn't expecting this. Stand by. I gotta look at my Ring doorbell. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, so Blinded by the Light. Yes, I like that song quite a bit. All right, so what else? What else we got here, guys? Did someone say my name? Habib? We did, although I think it's Hadid. I made a mistake. I don't know. You know, I don't know if it's because, honestly, so I don't know if it's because this is how I feel, or if there's just been a dilution of celebrities versus normal people because of the explosion of the social media. But like, and again, I'm not judging. Like, people can totally be into the royals or the Kardashians or whatever, but like, I just don't care. Like, when I see this, I'm like, okay. Like, when I see this, I'm like, okay. Like, if I ran into them, yeah, Jay Fox. If I ran into them, I wouldn't even know who they are. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't be like, oh my god, you know? So, again, I don't know. All right, what else we got here? Dragos is asking for help. Ooh, Breakfast Club 40-year anniversary on Saturday. That's very cool. Guys, I got to tell you, and let me know in chat, band, I want to know if you were in band or drama in high school. Just curious. I was in drama. A lot of people work in cyber or do brand and drama, but like, if you've never seen The Breakfast Club, I strongly encourage you watch it. It's a masterpiece. But I always thought The Breakfast Club would have been a perfect movie to make into a stage play, since the entire movie essentially takes place in the library. So cool. So cool. All right, so we had some questions coming in. What's your favorite conference event you've been to? Well, you know, what the shell, I will say that Simply CyberCon is my favorite, but let's just put that one to the side, since that's like, you know, obvious. Wild West Hackin' Fest Deadwood is my favorite. I love the vibe. I love the people. I love the experience. Everything about it is very, very special. Also, when I was 8, I went to the Nintendo World Championships up in Worcester, and that left an imprint on my mind as an experience in my youth. Dragos, if you take the CompTIA Sec Plus, where can I find the best value to learn and prepare? Well, I got to tell you, Dragos, Professor Messer is kind of the leading legend on Sec Plus. I would say Professor Messer. Also, Slay Security Plus on Saturdays is doing live streams to help you study for the exam. So Professor Messer to get the information, and Jesse at Slay Sec Plus for studying for, you know, like for exam practice and stuff like that. All right. Breakfast Club. I love the Breakfast Club. All right. What's one thing you wish more people knew about cybersecurity that surprise or inform them? What's one thing you wish more people knew about cyber that might surprise or inform them? Fleetus with the question. Good question, Fleetus. You know, I think one thing that I find people are surprised about is, well, two things. One, not every attack, compromise, hacker attack has to be like some nation state threat actor level stuff. A lot of people, I feel, believe that, like the movies, I've seen in the movies where they do all this crazy stuff, like that must be how it's done. And in reality, like, it's never, I mean, yeah, those attacks do exist, but for the most part, it's like, phishing email or, another, like, so that's just for like people in general. Another one for practitioners, especially more junior practitioners, I find that, they like, obviously I want you to be very careful handling malware, but like downloading like a Linux binary malware onto a Windows box, like there's no risk there. You can't detonate. I mean, you could run it in WSL obviously, but like you really can't infect yourself. If you're on a Mac and you download a PE Windows binary, you can't infect yourself, right? A lot of people also get confused. Like when you download like a macro laden with malware Office document to your box, like you're not infected yet. It's not like the cheese and Diary of a Wimpy Kid where just by touching it you're infected. You do have to detonate it, right? And then even, I'm not saying detonate it wild, but like even detonating it doesn't always work, right? So I think those are a couple things, Fleetus. Also, yeah, those are a couple. Hey, if you got thoughts of yourself in chat on what's something more people knew about in cyber. Yeah. I guess I wish more people knew about that. We do accept a lot of risk as well. It's not like we're securing everything. All right. Looks like the community split 50-50. What's the best course curriculum platform for beginners? I mean, that really depends, Kareem. Like, there's a lot of them out there right now, right? Like, there's the bigger ones like Coursera and Udemy. Honestly, I've used ACI Learning, right? Which I know they've kind of fallen out of favor a little bit, but their platform's pretty good. I like the content. It's very entertaining as well as educational. But it does cost money. There's a lot of free platforms as well. K7. Kareem, go check out K7 Learning. That's a good one. James Randolph, isn't everything in high school drama? LOL. Mina says, what's your idea about obtaining a Linux cert for a cyber beginner? I already have CompTIA Sec Plus, looking to get my first job in cyber. All right. So I'll tell you this, Mina. A Linux certification will not likely tip the scales for you as far as like, it's down to 2 candidates and they're looking at you and one other and they're like, well, Mina's got this Linux cert. But I will say this, 2 things. One, it's definitely worth learning Linux. Like, absolutely. Not like that you're a Linux server admin, but that you can like comfortably drive around in Linux, open the terminal shell, do some things. And having the Linux cert, like, I actually think it's not bad to get. I wouldn't spend a lot of money getting the certification if you can prevent that. But like, if I see someone says they know how to use Windows on their resume, like, okay, like everybody knows how to use Windows. But Linux, if you have the cert, I mean, it does tell me, oh, like this person knows how to use Linux. That's cool. There'll be other things on your cert, on your resume that would suggest you know how to use Linux as well. So again, learn Linux, I wouldn't spend money on the cert though, I guess is the TLDR, but definitely let people know on the resume that you know Linux or that you're comfortable in Linux. The reality, by the way, just so everybody knows, like when you get to a job, it's like highly likely you're going to be given a Windows box anyways. And, you can use Linux, but unless you're doing pen testing, then you probably get to build your own or you'll use Kali.
Become best friends. Yep.
Nerman's in chat. What's up, Nerman? Nerman says, since Cisco will not release a patch for CVE 2023-20188 due to the SG300 series reaching end of life, what are the best practices for securing legacy network devices? That is wild, Nerman. This goes back to the story that we covered earlier. This one, I believe. Right? Yeah. So it says CVE 2023-198, Nerman. You put 188. So I might be a typo. The SG300 are switches. So, I mean, here's the thing, Nerman. As far as protecting them, number one, it's a switch, right? So you typically don't want to switch internet facing, right? Switches are more for networking, like LAN, like devices together on a network, and for your network segmentation. Routers are used to connect networks to networks. Switches are used within a network at layer 2 for having devices communicate with each other. So chances are your risk is already kind of lower. Hold on, is that super chat pinned? Let me look. So chances are you wouldn't have that bad a deal. Second of all, you would want to get some type of replacement plan in place, like start asking for budget to swap those out if you could. Again, this is a technical exploitation, but you want to harden it, harden the device. So you should be doing this anyways, but it becomes an elevated concern at this point. So you'd want to make sure that, there's as few user accounts on it as possible, admin accounts. Make sure that the credentials to authenticate to it are, unique and difficult and not the same one used to log into every other device specifically for that unit. Okay. DJ Bisek is saying that the XE switches are layer 3. So at some point, the powers that be decided to make switches, which are a layer 2 device, have layer 3 capabilities, which makes them a router. But anyways, these switches should not be internet facing. So that's another thing, Nerman. If you have this device internet facing, you've got an architecture issue as well that would need to be remediated. So hopefully that helps. Again, one other thing, technically, this is actually a bit of a bottleneck. You would never really want to do this, but you could put an inline firewall between the switch and whatever upstream there is going to the internet, just to choke that only certain IP addresses can go access through that switch. Again, now you're starting to really make a custom solution for something that you should just replace. All right, let's keep going. Remember, we got a Simply Defensive at 9:30. Definitely loving that. I used Messer and Jason Dion for Sec Plus. This was years ago. Just passed my CISP this week. T, how you gonna bury the headline, dude? Just passed my CISP. Let's go. Woo! Congratulations. All right. Ray Bennett, what's the best way to network with others when you're just starting your cyber journey? Oh boy, definitely great question, buddy. First of all, you're showing up right here, Ray. That's a great first step. Say hi. Put goodness out, kindness. If you can, Ray, share with others. So if you're just starting your cyber journey, Ray, chances are you are, doing a lab. Yeah, you're doing a lab. You're learning a skill. You're watching a video. Share those experiences with other people. Go on Discord. Go to !Discord, Ray Bennett. And go on to the Simply Cyber Discord server. There's a lot of people in there helping each other. Share what you're doing for yourself there, okay? Because, Ray, you might find some video or some resource or some training that is super useful, and then you help someone else find it, right? So now you're putting value into the network, and people are going to be like, oh, yeah, Ray gave it to me. Ray who? Ray Bennett. Oh, high five. What's up, Ray? Go to a conference. Connect with people in the Discord server before. Hey, is anybody else going to Zero Trust World? I'll be there. Boom. That's how you network. Just be a little vulnerable, okay? Everybody, this is why Simply Cyber Community is so awesome, because we are here to help each other, and if you're not into that, then you won't want to stay here. And because of that, it's awesome, right? All right, let's see. Oh, yeah, we're doing OT security with... Ooh! Bros! Leslie Carhartt is the guest today? Damn, son! Woo! Leslie Carhartt's awesome. She keynoted Wild West Hackin' Fest a couple years ago. Not last year. Yeah. Yeah, so this is coming up at 9:30, so stay tuned for that. Super exciting. Good job, Josh and Wade. Next question, trying to learn and tune elk for work. Any suggestions? No, I mean, if you can, I guess what I would do is if you can do it. I mean, if it's in your work environment, it's harder to do. If it's in a lab environment, BZ, what I would recommend is throwing controlled situations in. So like, run, put Sliver post-exploitation framework on a controlled Windows machine, like a victim machine, and then have do things to it, right? Like kill a process or connect to, quote unquote, a C2 server, like do some malicious looking things and then go into elk and find it. Then write a detection that looks for it. Then run it again and see if your elk sends you an alert, and then rinse and repeat. That's what I would do. Okay. How do you shift the conversation from viewing cybersecurity as a cost center to recognizing it as a vital component of overall business competitive advantages for small businesses? All right, Cameron. The way to do this is to you basically have to become a business enabler. All right. You try to help. Like when you're in the meetings, right, with leadership or system owners or whatever, be listening for those opportunities where, security can help them. You want to be seen as a partner, right? So if, say, I don't know, you guys are going to do a deal with some vendor, I don't know what, but you're going to outsource your business books to QuickBooks, right? You're like, oh, that's great. Hey, what, I know, let's go to QuickBooks. So you're not saying whoa, let's look at that. They've already decided. So you want to be a partner with them. So you'd be like, oh yeah, QuickBooks, cool. If you will, give me an opportunity to look at what security controls they have in place that we can take advantage of. And I can help us use it in the most secure way possible so we don't get, compromised, right? It's more about you got to act like a peer to the business, not as a service to the business, I guess. And then people will start perceiving you that way. Also, I know your question's more at the strategic center, but also as much as it's going to suck, you kind of have to you guys, I'm about to say this and you guys can flame me if you want. I'd be interested in your thoughts. You have to change the perception of cyber to the business. And that involves what you look like, which I know, I want your thoughts on this, okay? But I believe this, okay? If you're wearing a Slayer t-shirt to work and working in the back and you got Dorito cheese dust on your fingers, the business looks at you as, you're that guy over there. Now, I'm not saying wear a tuxedo to work, okay? But if your bosses wear a button-down shirt or a beautiful, not a beautiful dress, but put together, you also should look put together because they will begin to see you as a peer, okay? If you're wearing jeans and friggin' Crocs, right? You can do that. I'm not judging you for wearing comfortable clothes. I'm wearing a hoodie right now, okay? But the way that you are being perceived by management is that you are not part of that team. You're not part of the management executive team. You're part of the go do this work over here, nerd team, okay? It's a big difference. Okay. Yep. Dress for the job you want, not the job you have. 100%. Cameron Godet says it's Funyuns. Oh my God, the coffee is finally cool enough to pound. Yes, sir. All right, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from the 90s or part 2, Secret of the Ooze, 91. I gotta go 90, the original, Shredder, the skate park. Casey Jones. Yeah, I was big into that scene. I don't even think I saw Secret of the Ooze. Oh yeah, Vanilla Ice, I forgot. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. I forgot about that. Damn, very cool. Thanks for the nostalgia trip. After completing your GRC masterclass, when asked, have you worked on developing or enhancing risk management policies and procedures in your previous positions, what are the best ways to answer that? Well, assuming that you haven't had a previous position that did have you do that, but you have gone through the labs, I mean, you could still position it that way, you know? You could say, hey, you could, like, have you worked on developing or enhancing risk in your previous positions? Honestly, I would just like, and this is a bit of an advanced like conversation skill, but it's called framing. And I would frame this. So they're framing it within the context of previous positions. I would just ignore that. Politicians do this all the time in debate. I would just ignore it. Bill Belichick did this a lot in post-game interviews too, except he was a jerk. I would ignore the previous positions part and say, you know, have you worked on developing and enhancing risk management policies and procedures? And you could say, as a matter of fact, I have had experience developing policies and procedures. I developed whatever policy you did develop and some procedures. I did this within the confine I got these practical skills going through an advanced practical skills GRC master course. I actually developed documentation. Hopefully you were social media presenting it or saving it to your GitHub repos so you could show them in a portfolio style thing, Aaron Carson. But you could say, yeah, you know, I've gone through the exercise of thinking through what how we should go about managing risk and what is acceptable risk and what needs to be remediated. And I've developed a policy for my own organization, right? Your own organization could be the organization of you, your home, whatever, right? And say, you know, develop that. And as far as procedures go, you know, when you're developing a procedure for yourself that you're going to be executing, it's a little tough to sell that. But you could say, you know, I've gone through the effort of developing a procedure. I actually walked through it, made sure that it worked. I took, you know, screenshots. I did a Loom video. You can also go see that in my portfolio. Being able to point to the portfolio or the GitHub repo is going to be very nice as well, so they can go fact check it. So that's how I would handle that one, Aaron Carson. Also, if you can, we did this on the Discord AMA the other day, but if you can, just, you know, try to develop some policies and procedures to help like small business, a local church, a nonprofit, your own home, right? And then you can leverage that as well. All right, last question. Any tips on networking at conferences, Dennis Keefe? Yeah, definitely. The get ahead of it, right? So go on Discord. Is anyone going to be at Zero Trust World this week? Dennis Keefe, I know you're going to be there. I'm going to be there. Make connections with people on Discord so when you show up, you're already expecting to kind of meet up with some people. Those people will naturally introduce you to people that they are talking to. If you have a friend or some people, like throughout the conference, if you see them talking to someone you don't know, you know, and it looks like it's, you know, something you can walk up into, walk up. Whoever you're friends with is no doubt going to do this. They're going to look at you and say, oh, hey, Dennis, James, meet my friend Dennis. Dennis, this is James. We were just talking about GRC, or we were just talking about going to a happy hour later today. Like, that's the way to do it. Kind of almost like, don't just walk up to random people. You can and say hi, but that's a little awkward. If you set some stuff up in advance, then you have like a little home group that you can work with, and then people will introduce you to other people and then off and running. All right, guys, we got 1 minute to go. We're heading over to Simply Defensive, an interview with Leslie Carhartt. I'm telling you guys, Leslie Carhartt is super dope. We're going to raid Simply Defensive right there. Go ahead, get your rate on. I'll pin the chat. Guys, I hope you had a great show. I had a great experience. Thank you to DJ Bisek behind the glass for pinning the comments. Thank you to all of you for being here. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Have a wonderful Monday, and I'll be back tomorrow, Tuesday, 8 a.m. Eastern for the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Yeah!